In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 ways that you're losing money without even realizing it. This is Brian Kelly, aka the Points Guy. Brian had a career in IT recruiting, but he became interested in maximizing credit card rewards once he was able to take a first-class flight to Milan using frequent flyer miles. But in 2007, he took advantage of a pretty nice sign-up reward with an American Express card, and that changed everything for him. The sign-up bonus was enough for him to take a flight to South America, and he realized that he could continue to take these type of trips if he signed up for cards strategically. So he started researching different cards and their rewards programs, and eventually created spreadsheets to track the rewards that he was gaining versus the rewards that he was actually redeeming. So in 2010, Brian created a site, thepointsguy.com, to share his strategies and build a community around this thing that they call travel hacking. Now I'll admit, Brian's lifestyle is on the higher end when it comes to taking advantage of credit card rewards, but none of this is possible if you're only using debit cards. Recently I was having a talk with one of my friends and I asked him what credit cards did he have, and he mentioned it was some Discover card, and I told him that I was interested in getting one of the Capital One cards. And the first thing he asked me was what was the interest rate, because he was concerned about the interest rate. And at the time I didn't really think much of it because I never really look at the interest rates, but there's a reason for that which I'll explain. So after I did look at the interest rate, I saw that yes, this is an extremely high interest rate for this card. And if you don't have the discipline to pay for your card every month on time, then you will end up in some big trouble. So let's say you have $400 in your account and you have a debit card. You can only spend that $400 or you get an overdraft fee. So you're more reluctant to spend over that $400. Now when you get a credit card and they give you this extremely high limit of $20,000 or so, the mistake that a lot of people make is that they think they have $20,000, but they don't. They have $400. And this is a route that I take advantage to buy items and inventory for my side business. I use my rewards credit card to buy all my inventory, but I still only spend the amount of money that I have in my bank account. And by being able to do this, I get double points on everything that I purchase. We get access to airport lounges and all these pretty cool perks. And this is how you're losing money if you only use a debit card, because you're losing the opportunity to be able to get money in the form of rewards and other bonuses by not at least trying one of these rewards credit cards. The next one is staying at a job too long. One of my close friends who actually got me into the tech field, before I started working in tech, I would notice that he would change jobs so frequently, and it was very odd to me. He would never stay at a company too long, but my friend would take it to another level, and he would stay maybe a year and then move on to another company, stay for another year and then move to another company. But by doing this, he ended up getting to a very high salary in a shorter amount of time, and he accelerated his career growth by job hopping. So I started to research what are the benefits to changing jobs more frequently, and I found a few things. The first and the most obvious is increased income. By switching jobs, you have the opportunity to negotiate your salary before you start the position, and we all know that the salary increases that you get from changing jobs is way more than you'll get by waiting on your yearly merit increases. So that's the first thing. The second is you have access to better benefits. Just like you can negotiate your salary, you can also negotiate your benefits. So you may be able to negotiate better packages, better matches for your 401k, better vacation policies. Everything's on the table when you're trying to negotiate for a job. Another is the potential for signing bonuses. So many companies offer signing bonuses to people that they're trying to persuade to join the company. So you have your salary and then you have your signing bonus that a lot of times is $10,000 or more, and they give it to you just by joining the company. A real quick side note, if you do get a signing bonus, make sure you understand exactly how long you have to be at the company to get the entire bonus. I found myself in a situation to where I got a good signing bonus, but I left the company in less than a year, and since the bonus was prorated, they ended up taking some of that money back out of my last check. So if you do get a signing bonus, make sure you understand the entire criteria on how to get the entire bonus. Now obviously there are some downsides to changing jobs frequently. You may feel a bit unstable, getting used to a new team and manager and processes every time, and eventually it could start to look kind of negative on your resume if you're changing jobs so frequently with no real explanation as to why. But when we're talking specifically not losing money over time, don't stay at a job too long. The next is your tax returns. In the past, when it came to taxes, my goal was to always get the biggest refund possible. And there's a lot of shady tax accountants out there that will market their services on getting you the biggest refund possible, but they don't tell you the entire story. So once I start to learn how taxes actually work, getting a big refund is 9 times out of 10 not good, because you're giving the government an interest-free loan on your money. When you overpay on your taxes, the government holds your money for that entire year and then they give it back to you in the next tax season. So by them holding on to your money for this entire year, you're missing out on opportunities to be able to use that money to grow your income or grow your wealth. I would much rather have that money at least in a high yield savings account to where I can get a few percentage points instead of just leaving it with the government and I get no extra money for it. So if you're getting big tax refunds, it's a good idea to look at your tax withholding and try to match what you actually owe in taxes versus how much you're paying in taxes. That way you have more money to budget with, to invest with, or even just to have in your own pocket. The next is conservative investing. Now you all know I love index funds because they're simple, they're easy, and they're proven to be successful. They're already heavily diversified, but the issue that some people run into is approaching a conservative investment like index funds, and they add along with it a very conservative investment strategy. So what do I mean by this? Let's say you have someone in their 20s or their 30s and they're investing in index funds because they heard that Brian G said index funds are a great way to invest, but they put the majority of their account into bond index funds. There's some problems with this. The first is low returns. Now bonds are not intended to grow a lot of money. They're more of like a safety vehicle to where you can kind of put your money there to at least maintain its value, but it's not intended for you to grow your account a lot, and they often give much lower returns compared to things like stocks and real estate. So by investing too conservatively, you miss out on future opportunities that you can use in other places to try to grow your money even more. The next is inflation. Because investing too conservatively, you can run into the issue to where you're not even beating inflation. So let's say inflation is around 6%, as it has been reported not too long ago, and your bond index fund portfolio gives you 4 to 5%. Now you can see that kind of math is what I call bad math. And then you have the time factor. The biggest part about investing and compounding your money is time. So the longer that you're investing very conservatively, the more aggressive you have to be later on when it actually may be more risky for you to invest that way because of your age and how close you may be to retirement. Now everybody has a different risk tolerance and they can decide how they want to invest for their goals and their lifestyle, but investing too conservatively will bite you in the end. Even for me, I know that index funds are very diversified, but I've put a lot of focus on 1 to 2 index funds, and that's it. Because if I'm already going to be investing in a conservative asset like index funds, I want to focus and put as much money as I can into 1 or 2 to grow my account exponentially over time. The next is warehouse clubs. Now don't get me wrong, I love Costco. Even pulling it to the parking lot, I don't know what kind of bakery they have, but you can smell whatever they're making like 2 miles away. As soon as you get out of the car, it smells like sunny days and good vibes no matter what is going on in life. But I do know these memberships will lose you money over time in the form of wasted food and unnecessary purchases. So it's been reported that the average checkout in Costco is around $115, which in my opinion might be even on the low end. When you have a family like me, that $115 starts to look more like $215. I know it's tough. You go in there and you see a 800 count of AA batteries and you feel like you need it, or a 500 count of Florida oranges or something and you feel like you need it. But by making these impulse buys, you start to lose money over time because you don't even use all the food that you're buying, and you don't use everything that you're buying that might not even be food related. But I do know that if you don't go in there with a plan and only focus on what you went there to buy, then you will start to lose money over time by making these big and unnecessary purchases. So that's what I have for you in this video. If you like the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.